The Biophysical Society meeting is all about discovery, but this year's Presidential Symposium is asking a different question. How do we explain why that discovery matters so much? We're joined by Sean Decatur, who began his career as a biophysicist and now works at the intersection of science and the public to talk about why communication is becoming part of the job for researchers. Thank you for joining me.
No, thank you for having me.
So this Presidential Symposium is going to focus on communicating the value of science. Why is this so important for researchers to be familiar with?
There have been many studies over the course of the past few years that show a declining public confidence in science, and maybe more importantly and pointedly, a declining public confidence in scientists. The idea that scientists are biased, that not understanding the connection between observation and conclusion, and this has huge implications for public policy, for our own public health and safety, for our well-being. And so I think it's important to figure out ways to reconnect with the broader public, to regain the trust of the broader public and make sure that there's an understanding of the scientific process and the importance of science in our lives.
Because it's everything. It's how we evolve and learn, and you were a molecular biophysicist. What does that feel like to come back in this different role to communicate to this community?
No, well, and it's exciting to be back at this conference. This was really the first academic conference I attended, so it's wonderful to be able to be here. And for me, there's just so much exciting information and really just exciting things to learn about molecular biophysics. And it's an area that has a big impact for biomedical sciences, for materials, for developing new approaches to probing and understanding the world around us. And it's also an area where often the public is unaware of the techniques, the data, the information. And so it's a group that I think is particularly important to begin to get more activated and engaged in public communication and public engagement.
So for a community that focuses on this fundamental structural mechanism of life and biology, how do they explain to the mass without oversimplifying it?
I think it's important first to meet the public where members of the public are, and that often means in starting at very high-level topics that people would have heard of, especially things that may be connected to medicine or the environment or in those areas. And then I think emphasizing the question. So what types of questions that we ask, what sparks our curiosity, those are things that I think spark the curiosity of the broader public as well. And being able to walk the people through what the process is like of going from observation to question to hypothesis and then to data collection. And so I think if you can find a way to connect into curiosity and then draw people in by posing questions or putting questions out there that I think people might pose, then you can really lead people in to science, even for things that seem very abstract.
What's the reception been like? I mean, is there a topic or a field that you find that people are interested in? Or what's your hook to really get people excited? Because they should be.
Yeah, and I think, and I could be naively optimistic about this, but I feel there's actually no topic that is that can't be brought to the public in some way. When I look at the exhibits and the educational work we do at the museum, we have topics in computational physics, we have topics in sort of organismal biology, we have topics in sort of deep earth geology, all of which on the surface seem incredibly complicated, and you'd sort of imagine why would the public care about that. Yet I think in the hands of effective science communicators, there's a way to bridge the detail discoveries and sort of rigor of the science to things that capture the curiosity of the broader public.
When did you discover that just the research and the information wasn't enough? The message had to be relayed. Was it data? Was it an overall public reception overall? Or how did you figure out that this communication, this messaging needed work?
For me, the connecting point was teaching in the classroom, because it's certainly an essential piece that all academic scientists do, that you have to play some role in teaching and communicating about the work, and having an understanding of what sparks curiosity and what answers that curiosity in the classroom. It turns out that's a pretty natural translation to thinking about how that applies to the broader public.
Well, thank you for being here and helping educate all of us and continuing to do that.
No, thank you for having me here.